A distinguished lineup of guests converged at Abuja's capital last Thursday to witness the launch of former military President General Babangida's autobiography titled A Journey in Service, a book which sought to clarify several gray areas during the man's 80 years stranglehold on power in Nigeria, particularly his role in the annulment of the 2003 presidential election. He had this to say. Let's watch.
This book, which chronicles my experiences, decisions, and challenges during our national service, tries to answer some of these questions from my modest perspective. My colleagues in arms and I presided over significant change and turbulent reform. We confronted monumental challenges in the economy, the polity, foreign affairs and defense, and security spheres of our national life. We surmounted obstacles, sought change from old ways, encountered unusual obstacles, and devised innovative solutions. We all thought to leave Nigeria a better place than we found it, often at a great personal sacrifice and in the face of significant challenges. I'm deeply aware of the inconveniences and sacrifices the public endured during this period, and I acknowledge and appreciate their resilience and commitment to progress. Although the reform caused inconveniences to our people, we built lasting national institutions, some of which are still in place today. Undoubtedly, credible, free, and fair elections were held on June 12, 1993. However, the tragic irony of history remains that the administration that devised a near-perfect electoral system and conducted those near-perfect elections could not complete the process. That accident of history is most regrettable. The nation is entitled to expect my impression of regret. As the leader of the military administration, I accept full responsibility for all decisions taken under my watch. And June 12 happened under my watch. Mistakes, oversights, and missteps happen in quick succession. But I say in my book, in all matters we acted in the supreme national interest so that Nigeria could survive. Our nation's march to democracy was interrupted, a fact that I deeply regret, but Nigeria survived and democracy is still alive.
Exploration of General Babangida's submission on the late MKO Abiola, the annulment of June 12, 1983 election, and how all that has impacted the evolution of democracy in Nigeria in the past 32 years, as well as possible lessons going forward. I'm now going to be joined by Dr. Akin, a renowned advocate for politics of national equity and a loud voice for restructuring the political foundations of Nigeria. Great to have you on this day live, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Good evening, viewers. Thank you very much.
So, let's talk. 30 years later, IBB has come out to say the election was free and fair. What's your first impression?
Well, in the take you've just had, IBB is saying, is talking about inconveniences. Inconveniences. What a joke. People died. Lives were destroyed. You cannot recover what we have lost as a nation. It just said it's inconveniences. what a sad admission, what a sad choice of words. The president is so regrettable that he's talking in these terms. He's dancing on the grave of people who were just maliciously killed. I singled out Babangida Kalto is a journalist with Tempo News. He was actually burnt alive in the course of this June 12 crisis. What do you say about Babangida Kalto? What do you say all the people who were killed on the streets of Ikorodu in Lagos? In the good country, if he says he accepts full responsibility, what does that mean? He deserves a bullet in the head, like Hitler did in 1945.
By himself. Dr. Fapohunda.
Is accept responsibility?
Yeah.
Yes, certainly.
I see that you question his choice of word, his euphemism. So let us sort of do a canvas writing. Yes, you absolutely challenge it. Besides the bullet in his head, if you were writing the script, what should he be saying or doing today? What are the right words or what are the right actions?
He has no right to even talk to Nigerians at all. He has no right to show his face. He's supposed to be hiding in shame until he dies, to be honest. Look, let's lay the history.
Yes, let's lay
the generation of the soldiers from 1966.
Yes.
It is now almost 60 years. Their class damaged Nigeria beyond redemption, beginning from General Gowon, who brought Udoji Awards to spoil the economy of Nigeria. General Murtala killed people in Abagana, in Agbo. He himself, how many people were killed deliberately, pointedly, without remorse over these years? It's not just him. It symbolizes the debacle of Nigeria in the last 60 years that we have had. Now, the effect of what he has done is much bigger than we think.
Yeah.
There are 3 days in Nigeria history now, 3 dates. October 1960, January 15, 1966, June 12, 1993. We started up as a country in 1960. It was truncated in 1966. 1993 will have been the point where we emerge as a nation, not a mere geographical expression. That chance was lost and lost almost forever. That's the greatest destruction on the Nigerian country, not the Nigerian nation.
There is, Dr.
And we have not recovered since then.
Dr. Fapohunda, there is an argument by some people who say that take away June 12, and Babangida perhaps could have been remembered or considered as a great president in terms of the fact that he did a lot of economic reforms, he did some infrastructure, and he indeed birthed the process that led to the election we call the freest and the fairness. I have had occasion in public and in writing to say Babangida is a paradox like Nigeria. So what's your take on that vision that take away June 12 and perhaps it could be considered one of the greatest leaders the country has had? Do you buy into that or do you think no?
Well, sadly, we cannot take away June 12. If you are wearing a white cloth to an occasion, and you have a red spot on it,
a stain,
you will go back and discard the dress and wear a new one. June 12 has stained all its achievements. Okay, where is the achievement now? We have only 3,000 megawatts of power.
Yeah.
We are owing 141 trillion naira in debt.
Yeah.
We have a deficit of 14 trillion in budget of this year. The indiscipline that it brought about, last year's budget cannot be implemented, it spill over to 2025. It brought in impunity. You know, you can build a house, but you destroy it with grenade. It takes grenade to bring a house down now. You could have built a house for 10 years, but one act will just bring the whole thing collapsing.
So your point is that with
That's
June...
not the truth.
Your point is that with June 12, there's nothing else to save in the story or legacy of IBB. Is that correct?
I speak to all Nigerians who are around 30 years old who don't know what happened in those days.
Yes.
Why are Nigerians jackpotting overseas now? Mm-hmm. The country has become ungovernable. Even in the state, Niger State, 1/4 of it is occupied by bandits. Is that a country?
In your...
It laid the foundation for what we are doing now today.
In your earlier submission, you seem to claim that from... You identified 3 dates, 1960, 1966, and 1993, June 12 to be precise. Is it your submission that from 1966 onwards, all those that intervened, especially the military one, are guilty of where we are today? Is that... Let me get that point right.
They are guilty of treason until they are tried, until they show contrition, until they clear the debris out of all. We cannot make it. Look, up till now, the Holocaust people, they are still being hunted down in the world since 1945.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, we have very poor sense of memory. See the way see the ceremony in Transcorp this week now. See all the people who killed Nigeria. They are all dancing and smiling and slapping each other. Is that the legacy for the children who are not born at that time? Is that the legacy they are going to see? That you do crime and you don't do the time. There is no consequence for any bad misconduct.
I was going to go...
That's the major takeaway from this mission.
I was going to go to that, Dr. Fapohunda. So here's the point here. You feel there's no space for redemption or recognition from those people. But the past and present leaders do not...
Absolutely.
They do not seem to think so, because you mentioned the gathering that happened on Thursday last in Abuja that had a lot of Nigerian elites, political and business leaders there. Even before then, it is common practice in Nigeria for most of those running for president to do what I call the pilgrimage to Mina. So let's talk about these Nigerian leaders then, beyond IBB himself. Well, what's your take on the rest, since you're having this view?
All of them, they are product of massive looting of Nigerian wealth. Everything, Nigeria state have been privatized, both in asset-wise and in liquid cash. You cannot believe how much money in private hands, raw cash. And Nigeria is bleeding. Nigeria is in deficit. Before somebody can donate 2 billion, 3 billion, he must have 50 billion in his account.
Where is that money?
Where is that money coming from? It's not from the...
But wait, Dr. Fapohunda, the money...
Is that money from Nigerian state that they got it?
Dr. Fapohunda, the money is their money. What do you want to do about it? What do you propose?
What did they invent? What did they invent to get the money? It's from oil blocks now. I've written a paper. There are 43 entities that has oil blocks in Nigeria. Oil blocks belong to Nigerian state. In any case, until we take the wealth of Nigerian back from these people and put it in public hands.
Yeah.
It happened in Saudi Arabia in 2017. In 2017, the Crown Prince then assembled all the people who have big money in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Put them in Ritz-Carlton Hotel and told them, please surrender all that you have so that Saudi Arabia can grow. We need to do the same thing. Somebody, I don't know. As I said, it will be 60 years next year that the soldiers took over the affairs of Nigeria.
Yes. We
have 1 year now to decide that all money in private hands, voluntarily surrender it. No one should have 2, 3, 4, 5 billion and be donating it as if you are pouring confetti on a wedding guest.
Well, if they have
it's obscene. It's obscene.
I get your point.
No, they don't have it. The money should be... The money should be confiscated. In fact, that library money should be confiscated. Which library? Who is going to read the books? Is it the Almajiris in Niger State that will read the books in the library? In Niger State, they shut down the Air Force plane.
Dr. Fapohunda,
is that where they're going to read the books in the library?
Dr. Fapohunda, you're a man of constitution. Explain to me what kind of laws can you invoke to do that?
is...
I'm not against you. I want to be convinced.
Doctrine of necessity.
A doctrine of necessity.
The doctrine of necessity has to be conveyed. Yes. Okay. We have 3,000 megawatts.
Yes.
We get 3,000 megawatts. We're stuck on it.
Yes.
If you don't want to apply doctrine, okay, what right did they have to privatize? What right did Babangida have to give all these oil blocks to people? Whom did they consult? Which law gave them the powers to give public wealth to private hands?
So your take,
Which law?
Your take is that we should go back to challenge all the people who said, Babangida has made me, I'm grateful to him. We should go back to them and say, let's talk about it. Is that your take?
Look, the atmosphere of wealth without work will not get Nigeria out of where we are. There must be work with wealth. If you are not working and you are wealthy, something is wrong. Something is wrong. That's not the truth. I will not sugarcoat it at all. I mean, somebody like me, I work in public service for 26 years.
Yes.
I've been retired now for 25 years. Can I donate 100 million to anybody? Can I buy form to run for Senate in my state? The next election now, is all the money privatized that are going to be used to buy forms.
I get your point.
Would that be right?
You, Dr. Fapohunda, I don't know. Before we let you go, you are from Osun State. Let's talk about your state. You're an Ijesheman from Osun State. What's your take on the local government elections going on there? What's your overall view?
Well, the president and his attorney general brought an atmosphere of confusion into the system. Local government is a second-tier responsibility in the federal system. Federal system does not allow federal government to go over the states to go and dictate anything to local government. It's an overreach for attorney general to be quoting law in Abuja to control local governments. Once you have that aberration, once you have that impunity, you've thrown pebble into the lake and you must cause ripples. It's no longer decent. We are not running a decent polity at all. We are running a government of anything goes. Anything goes. The governor chose to be mighty. He conducted local government elections and he sworn in the people on Sunday. Not even on a working day. On a Sunday. So there is impunity all across the board. We must change this system and go back to pre-1966. The president cannot sit there and think that he's going to win election 2027 and rule.
Well, I'm going to...
His time is now. If he doesn't do anything now, we are not going to have peace in this country. We must come to two-tier federalism. We must come to regionalization. Each region should take care of its own affairs, create as many local government as it wants. It's not business of Abuja or Attorney General Fagbemi to be talking about law, High Court judgment, Supreme Court judgment. What does it need to do about local government in the federal system?
Okay.
So everything is wrong. Everything is wrong.
I know I'm going to go to your vision of how this restructuring thing should happen, but allow me to take a political question before we go to the institutional one. You talk about the president and the Attorney General of the Federation, but the governor of the state, he's saying no, he trusts the president, he's a Democrat, he's not accusing him of anything. Is he playing politics or is he saying the truth? Is he weak or is he being diplomatic?
It's double talk. The president, the governor is a double talk. It's just, the man likes to dance so much. So it's just, I mean, it's my governor, but it's an alawada, you know. So sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry when he talks. So you don't know which one.
Alawada is a comedian. So I thought he was a dancer. Now you say he's a comedian as well.
And the way he dances, you have to laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and fall down.
So
I don't know which one to take. He's a good man, but he shouldn't be running the affairs of the state. But here we are.
Yes.
The 1966 class of soldiers brought people like that to govern us. We, the most intelligent people, we are being run by people. Governance is a very serious business. No time to be dancing and clowning on these things. Well, I like the man. He's a good man on his own. He has to be a king of a town, not a serious governor of a state. Let him be a king. Then he will preside over marital problems and all that. But state affairs is for serious people. Look, lives of Osun State. Osun State is maybe number 32 in the regional achievement. Osun State is a depressed state. It's a depressed state. What is it there to dance about? I won't dance at all.
Well, at least
Osun State.
You might be number.
I will not.
You might be number 32 in development, but you're number 1 in dancing. I mean, I don't think there's any governor that dances.
Oh, no doubt.
That dances
I clap for my governor. I clap for my governor.
That dances better than him.
I clap for my governor.
Let's talk about your passion
I clap for my governor.
For restructuring. You're an advocate of regionalism. In your mind, how do we place the local government reforms that we have today and the one you'd like to have in the structure of Nigeria as it stands?
We are doing cosmetics, we are doing palliatives. We need to have a meeting. I have written a letter to Mr. President. He has a good opportunity to reform Nigeria in the right way. We cannot even manage 36 states. Nigeria is not solvent at all. We need to collapse the system. When we go back to regions, region will be strong. The states now will be provinces, actually. We need to cut down the cost of governance. We cannot afford 36 states, 774 local governments. We cannot afford it.
Okay, but
so,
wait,
again,
Doctor.
Doctrine of necessity.
Yes. No, go ahead. Doctrine of necessity. Let me hear this, your doctrine of necessity, please.
Again, maybe the president announced that he's going to run some youth confab in March. We have not had anything about it again. The same we have not heard about Onasaye report action again. They just announce things, they don't do it. We don't know what the government, President Tinubu is up to. But he needs to convene a special session of ethnic nationalists of Nigeria. He's the only one who can do it. There's no government who can do it unless you are preaching for a military coup. It's the authority of Nigeria today. We have to appeal to him. We have to tell him, look, the best to do is to have a clean conference. 1 week is enough. The document on new structure of Nigeria is available. It doesn't take 3 months confab. No. It will approve. If I have a draft, personally have a draft, and my body, eminent elders forum, have a draft. Afenefere has a draft. Is to authorize it to be discussed, and then a referendum is held. This is a new structure for Nigeria, 8 regions, and then each region will go and write its own constitution within 3 to 6 months. In fact, Western region constitution is ready too. It's ready too for referendum. Kogi and Kwara will be part of Western region. They will be asked, what do they want? The East will do the same. The South Side will do the same. It's not rocket science. And this thing can be done within 1 to 3 months.
And the Patriots, of which you are part of, also are making moves in that direction. We must add to that.
Absolutely. So, the raw materials are there. It's going to take long. And look, if you agree on all this I'm saying now, it takes 2 to 3 years to implement. Before you do referendum, to pass the constitutions, to share assets and liabilities, to form new governance, it will take. In fact, we need to suspend the next coming elections. But there's no room for election to pay 100 million.
Dr. Fapohunda, before you suspend the election, let me ask you a question. It seems so clear and so logical to you why Nigeria needs to be restructured and why we need to go to the regional system and to reduce the cost of governance. Let me ask you an intellectual question. Who do you think is against this seemingly logical step that you embrace, and why do you think they're against it? So 2 questions into one. Who and why?
The people who gathered in Abuja last Thursday, yes, they have wealth in their hand. They are kingmakers, and they want to continue being kingmakers. Yes. If I want to run now, I don't need any money at all. If I go to Babangida and say, oh, Mr. President, somebody takes me to him, and say, oh, I want to run for governor of Osun State, he will grant me 100 million to go and run. So it's a kingmaker. But to run on my own account, it's not possible because I don't have the money. So the money class who are in Abuja this last Thursday, they don't want the change. They don't want to lose their power of control over all of us. But the people are suffering, and they are not merciful on the masses. They are not thinking of long term. They are just thinking of sitting on their own billions. And that's all.
So it's.
I don't think I don't think we should. They should not wait. They should not wait until people start doing what happened in Kenya. In Kenya, they were said, "Look, you man, we know your houses, we know your children. We are going to do something about it." They should not wait until that time will come. They should not.
So your appeal for them is to go for reform rather than wait for revolution, if I understand you very well.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. This channel is very important for them to listen that if they don't do what I'm doing, those who do not give peaceful change a chance will expect anything can happen.
Well, okay.
If it is Osun State matter now, anything can happen. Anything can happen tomorrow in Osogbo. Anything can happen. Okay, PDP versus APC.
Dr. Fapohunda, it's all well and good. You talk about the leadership, how corrupt, how they've looted, how they've not brought power. But what about the people? What do the people need to do? What is your appeal? What is your request from the people of Nigeria? Because overall, these leaders are few. The people are many.
My own age group, we are the second tier behind the people who have taken Nigeria for a ride.
Yeah.
We need to convene a meeting of our own in Abuja in the next 1 or 2 months. That we wish to have G24, G34, G70. We need to have where many Nigerians come together as a body. After all, they confronted Abacha. It was led by civilians. They confronted Abacha, G34. We need to form equivalent of that now to say, Mr. President, you are there. National Assembly, you are there. We don't want what you are doing anymore. Let's get traditional rulers, the religious leaders. Things are not right. Things are not right. We cannot continue with the next election this way. We cannot. If you don't do something the next 6 to 7 months, and you go to next year's campaign where they are sharing money, 5,000, then we have lost it. We have lost it. And I saw that what will happen.
Dr. Fapohunda, thank you very much. It's good having you. I'm sure we'll continue this conversation on other forums. Thank you very much.